as Manchester United sign a new left winger, Tyan Thompson, 18 years of age, coming in from Spurs, expected to be a first-team signing. We will get into it. Does that mean that Marcus Rashford is set to stay? Also, the Somerville deal is looking likely to be off as Roma go again to try and sign the player. And there's some new updates linking Manchester United to Lewis Hall and Anthony Robinson, as Michael Carrick wants to push ahead on signing a left back and is very insistent on pushing ahead to sign that third midfielder.
Look, Koné fits the bill. Koné is the player we want. Koné is someone we know of. We've recruited and scouted before, so we know all about the player. But Manchester United are obviously not willing to spend that money, which is why they're still looking at other targets. And that's a fact, because obviously we heard from David Ornstein yesterday saying that Manchester United still haven't fully committed to one particular player yet. They're obviously closing in and talking to a few now, and we're finding all of this information out. And I think that this is with Koné. Again, it's like, right, okay, we've got 50 million on him, or whatever the price is. 47's been muted as well and sort of spoken about a little bit. We either go on that on him, or we go big on another Premier League player. What's worth it more? Because I'm telling you right now, the thought of the money and the balance sheet and where we were going to spend the budget this summer was spread over a few positions. We haven't spent on a goalkeeper. We look like we're not going to spend on a winger, although obviously Tyan Thompson comes in there, and that's obviously part of this story as well. Not much money been spent there. There's nothing yet on the striker. We're being told that's going to happen if Xerxes leaves. Nothing on the fullback yet. Is the whole budget going in on... And let's not forget, Man United have only spent 85 million. When you break that down, Manchester United have probably spent about 47 million net this summer so far. There is plenty of money to spend for United. Even in our worst transfer windows, Manchester United have always managed to spend at least 150 million. Recent years, it's been 200 million minimum for United and a little bit more. So when you look at that, there's definitely 100 plus million left to spend at least for Manchester United. Where is that money going? If United do have to reintegrate Marcus Rashford back, they're not going to buy the winger. They've already got the goalkeeper. They've brought in a young attacking wide player in Thompson, who we'll talk about a little bit later on. There hasn't really been much spent by Manchester United. Even when you go gross and what United have actually spent this summer, they've still not broke the 100 million mark yet, and they've bought 4 players in. And when I say 4 players, I am including Thompson on that. And I'll update you on what's been said on him and why that is a 4th player as well later on in this show, like I said. But it's interesting because I feel like Manchester United are going to push this towards Scott. I think there's something happening with him, and I keep saying this every single show. I know there's been stories going around today, but I still sort of look at and cling to the thought that Manchester United, according to The Athletic, have always been in touch with Bournemouth, and he hasn't signed this contract. And you'll get stories like Indy Calais today as well that's come out and said United are now back in with Bournemouth, talking to the club as well as the player. So we've heard about Man United touching base with Scott's agents again this weekend. That was brought up by Sully the other day. And we know that United have been watching the Scott situation. They've been waiting to pounce for this new contract situation that's been developing there that isn't happening at the moment still. Let's not forget how deep into the summer we are now. Everybody's back in pre-season and Scott still doesn't have that contract signed. So again, he's making it very, very clear that he doesn't want to be at Bournemouth. Whichever way you look at it, Bournemouth may say, look, we are going to keep him anyway, even if he doesn't sign a new deal. Fair enough, you can do that, totally within your powers. But Scott is basically telling Bournemouth, I'm not staying at this football club. So then Bournemouth have a decision to make. And United will know this. United will know that if Scott doesn't sign this deal, the price then does drop down if they try to keep hold of him. So do they do a little bit of a deal, knowing that Scott's price is going to come down the next summer because they can't tie him down to a contract, so that price is automatically going to come down with 1 year left.
Get your comments in, let us know your thoughts and feelings. We are live for the 2 p.m. news show. It's left wing, Tyan Thompson. We have paid a pretty penny for a very young player, £8 million, which is a decent sum for a left winger that hasn't played first team football. He hasn't, but there is a lot about him to like, and there is a lot of hype around this player. What it actually is a 4 million upfront fee and then 4 million in add-ons, and Spurs have also inserted a 15% sell-on clause. The 4 million add-ons is based on first team achievements that he makes in the senior team for Manchester United. So it is 4 million. If he's good and he does what we expect him to do, it's going to end up at £8 million. And that shows major belief from Manchester United into this player. And he has completed a transfer to Manchester United subject to registration. Personal family circumstances have also been cited as a reason behind the departure, with a desire expressed by Thompson's family to relocate to the Manchester area. I mean, why wouldn't you want to move from London to Manchester? It is a major upgrade. I'm with them on that one. A sell-on clause in the region of 15 to 20% and matching rights condition, which may allow Tottenham to bring Thompson back to the club in the future, has also been included in the deal. So it's looking like, because there's multiple reports, some reports say a 15% sell-on clause, some reports say a 20% sell-on clause. This is on additional money that Manchester United could eventually make on the player, but hopefully Tottenham won't need to cash that in because we keep him at the club and he's very successful for Manchester United. But if he does go on to be absolutely fantastic and, you know, say somehow in the future, like a club come and want to pay like 80 million for him, then Spurs will get a decent amount back. But that's way in the future if he does what Manchester United expect him to do. They have shown major belief on him for a player that's on the cusp of first team football. But Tottenham, he didn't have that clear pathway, and Manchester United are promising him that. If they're showing, and this is a good thing about what we have actually managed to do in terms of bringing younger players in over the past couple of years under Ineos, that is something I will give them credit for. As much as I think we need more major starting 11 senior signings, and I will stand by that, when you're going and trying to recruit young players to join your project and get them before they blow up, you can show them pathways, and hopefully we can show the next youngster Tyan Thompson's pathway. But what we've been allowed to do is go to Tyan Thompson and say, look, Aiden Heaven, he couldn't get in at Arsenal. Granted, that is because Arsenal have two world-class centre-backs, but he couldn't get in. He's got minutes at Manchester United, and look at how many minutes he's got and how well he's done. Like, that could be you. Like, we're not saying you're going to come in and start on the left wing. That would be crazy. But what we are saying is you're going to have a pathway to the first team. If you play well, you will get minutes and you will have an opportunity to shine. There is a pathway there for you. So we can look at these young players and start to get them in before they blow up. And look, some will say that the reason Aiden Heaven didn't make it at Arsenal is because they're further ahead of us and they're in a place where they do have world-class centre-backs. However, what we've done is we've taken advantage of an opportunity. We've brought Aiden Heaven in, and like I've said multiple times, I don't want to put too much weight on teenagers' shoulders, but he looks like a really incredible talent for a steal. And hopefully, Tyan Thompson goes the same way. I mean, before he got announced, I virtually knew nothing about him, so I've gone and done a little bit of research on him. He's a young player who's come through the academy, and he's a fast, direct winger who likes to take on defenders. He is that typical touchline traditional winger, the profile that Manchester United have been looking for and that a lot of Manchester United fans think that we need. He can play on either wing, and he's one for the future for Manchester United. They have backed his pace. He's got very, very good pace, athleticism, and his potential is massive.